Good morning, Mike Borgh from EnerQi Healing in Sussex, New Brunswick. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Listen, we're jumping on today because we have you coming for the first time to teach your SAC, the Spiritual Alignment Connection course coming up here in October 19 and 20.
Yep.
And I would like, being it is your first time here, I would like to just jam with you and talk about who you are and a little bit about the SAC and what people can expect uh, to come away with on that weekend. That's cool with you?
Yes, of course. Yes, that's I always love connecting with you and sharing this information. So the spiritual alignment connection is a 2 day, it's a weekend course. It's a full day Saturday, half day Sunday. In simplest terms, I refer to it as Reiki on steroids. Um, it is a no-touch energy healing practice that helps to elevate us into higher states of vibration and awareness and unlock those dormant aspects of our consciousness that because of for whatever reason have been shut off or kept at bay. Uh, some of you may have know me already and understand that I've taken over 60 different courses in my years of training and practice. And I will say the SAC weekend that I took had the most immediate and profound shift in my awareness and how I conduct treatments. And it very quickly and easily came in and meshed into what I was already doing, but just helped to elevate my awareness to the next level. And what I mean by that is I'm a very visual person, so I've always seen things and see the energy move as I work. Occasionally, I'll hear things, I might smell things. It's a lot of it is a feeling for me too. And what I noticed, the easiest way to describe it is like going from those old CRT tube televisions to super high definition clarity in my approach and my practice. I started to notice that because of my anatomy training, my anatomy background, I know what the body looks like on the inside. And I could actually, it was almost like X-ray vision, and I could actually start to see inside the body and see where the dysfunction was and what was needing to be addressed as a result of the SAC awakening and opening that occurred for me.
Wow. That's very cool. Almost like a medical medium gives you some abilities to tap in there and really
Yeah.
discover where the like. I mean, are you sensing dense spots or like what do you actually? I guess
Uh,
that's what the course is, right? I guess
Yeah.
that's really what
Well,
you're
we don't
teaching.
really teach you that in the course, but through the experience and in the opening and the heightened state of consciousness that was awakened in me after that experience, that brought opened up my extrasensory abilities to a much deeper level. Everyone that takes the course is going to have a very different experience. Just like any course, right? You get what you are ready for and what you are meant to have in that experience that weekend. For
Yeah.
some people, it could be a very profound, life-changing experience. For others, it just may be um, what opens up and starts their deeper healing journey within. And there are everything that happens is a beautiful experience. We're not there to judge and compare our experiences because you're getting exactly what you need in that space.
Wow. And so would you say that it would be suitable for somebody who's just sort of maybe starting out on their own journey? And then would it also be suitable for somebody who's already a practitioner and who's working their mojo? And would that be sort of an added and, sort of supercharged to their own arsenal, if you will?
Yeah, it's ideal for anybody. I've always said the only requirements necessary to attend the course are a heartbeat, and we all have that, right? Because we're all human, and we all have the innate capacity to heal ourselves, but to also learn how to hold space and to facilitate a shift and change for somebody else. As long
Yeah.
as our heart beats, we can find that vibrational love within ourselves to witness miracles happen. So it's a honestly it's an amazing course for people who've never taken any type of energy healing course, and a great addition for the seasoned practitioners. It's I've had quite a number of people who were unsure of what it was about, never really done anything spiritual or energetic, and they've come to 4 or 5 of the SAC classes I've taught since, because it was just such a profound experience, and they were also met with an open heart. And even though they didn't quite understand everything right away, they left with a wonderful experience, and it's changed their life.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet. And it's interesting too, because I think the timing is good to bring you in the fall. It's the colors are beautiful, all the obvious things are here, but I think as we move into the winter hibernation months, this would be like the perfect launch pad, I
Mm-hmm.
think, to sort of give you what's the word I'm looking for? It's like going into hibernation with some tools and some like a guidebook, or
Yep.
like just going into those, or better optimizing or utilizing the natural inclination to go inwards at this time. So I think the timing on that is really great, because I feel like what you're offering is a whole bunch of different tools and a whole bunch of new perspectives that you can really, really work with and have, accelerated transformation happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm so glad that we're doing this in at the top of fall. And so just walk us through a day, Mike, like, because it is a 2-day experience, and we are running from 9:30 to 5 both days, as
Uh,
far as I know, right?
it's 9 to 5 is what I schedule on Saturday. We're usually done a little bit early, but I always give that extra time in the listing just in case. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's questions or things happen that require a little bit more time. We're usually done by about 4 on the Saturday, and the Sunday is a half day, so 9 till about 1 or 2. Um, so it's a day, a full day and a half. Um,
Great.
what's really great about the course too is it's actually 95% experiential. So over the course of the weekend, you actually give and receive 5 treatments, which is the real power of the SAC. If somebody was to come and see me professionally for the SAC treatments, the way it's designed is it actually requires 5 sessions to experience the full capacity of the SAC. So you come in for 1 session. Within 72 hours, you need to do the second session. Within 72 hours after that, you do the third. So that's 3 sessions in about a week and a half. I like to then get the 4th session done a week after that, and then the 5th session done a week after that. So you're
Mhm.
talking 5 treatments in the course of a month.
Yeah.
In less than 36 hours, you get all 5 of those treatments, which is the real power of the experience of that weekend.
Truly.
What is also really amazing about the SAC is I don't need to know anything about what's going on in your life. I don't need to know your traumas. I don't need to hear the stories. I just need you to relax on the table and let the work do what it does. Uh, which for a lot of people can is really nice, because until there's a trust built, a lot of people have a hard time opening up and sharing some of the traumas. Maybe they're embarrassed by it or ashamed by it or whatever, and they don't want to talk about it. Or they've been through therapy and they've talked and talked and talked and they're just done talking about it. We don't need that. We are just there holding space, and I teach you how to simply and easily begin to move the energy that's stuck in the body that is manifesting as whatever symptoms that person is experiencing, and to help pull them up and release them from the body. People will have may have huge emotional releases, whether it's anger or sadness, tearing and crying and screaming if necessary. Um, And it's, we aren't questioning, we're not trying to bring this up in a logical, cognitive way. We're just there witnessing the power and the beauty of trauma finally being expressed and released from the body. Uh, Through this experience too, there have been occasions where people have had full spiritual Kundalini openings, um, and unlocking that true spiritual divine essence within themselves on the table, which honestly is a beautiful experience to witness. And the nice thing is, if and when it happens in the class, I've been through it myself, so I can help hold that safe space and guide you through it in a very safe way to allow you to relax into the experience, and everything in between that can happen and occur. And the last thing we do on the Sunday is we open up dormant energy centers in the body, which have basically are part of the reason why many people haven't uh, don't have access to their extrasensory capabilities and gifts. So as we begin to activate those dormant energy centers in the body, it can open up those extrasensory abilities to either just open them up or open them up to heightened states of awareness, like what happened with me. Uh, Another common experience that we do see during the SAC treatments is the body may actually go into some involuntary movements, twitching, shaking, vibrating, the arms may raise up. And like this is totally involuntary. But what is happening is actually a physical reaction to the traumatic release that is happening from the bones and joints of the body. Um, and it doesn't always happen. People go into it expecting these things to happen. They can happen, and for a lot of people, it's the first time they've witnessed and experienced energy working on that depth of level. But it's an amazing experience and an eye-opening experience of what is truly possible.
Oh, I bet. I can hardly wait. Let me ask you, is it are you doing all the practice, or is it something that like we'll be working on each other? Is
Yeah,
that okay.
you'll
So
be
that's
working
what you
on
mean
each
by the
other.
experiential.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, um, again, getting those 5 sessions in less than 36 hours is like a super upgrade, right? A super jolt of woof, here we
Oh,
are.
big time. Yep.
Um, so yeah, we have lots of opportunity. You'll split up and you'll partner up, and I'll give you a session. We take a little break, then we switch roles, and then you'd give me a treatment. Um, and that's, a lot of what we do is that, and I'm there to facilitate and to help. And, yeah, emotions and stuff come up. So I'm also there to help with the processing and to ensure everything's done in a very safe manner. And my role as the facilitator is also to just hold the space for everybody and to create a safe container for people to explore the uncomfortable parts of themselves that may be scared to go to, right?
Well, you know what? Can I just touch on that too? Because
Yeah.
I notice that when I do my own work here too with folks, is that just that sense of uncomfortable. I notice that when we move into those area of when we move into the energy of like self exploration, and automatically we start to, most people I think can relate to just sort of that growing sense of anxiety about having to share from that place, those intimate bits. But I like to remind folks that, like, really the bandwidth of emotions is very, very slim. It's a very narrow band. All the stories and experiences that around it are all different and it's vast, but the actual range of emotion is very narrow. So, there's not any emotion, not one single emotion that all of us have not experienced at some point or other. And I feel anyway that when people can find the courage and the want to really lean in that way and offer up those really tender bits, there's so much transformational potency in that offering that when that actually hits the airwaves for everybody else to hear, actually physically hear, that instantly starts to shift all of that all those similar emotions that we all carry, regardless of whether you've spoken it or not. That starts to shift all of that ding 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 ding. And I feel like that's the beauty of the group experience, is that there's such an acceleration of transformation, of like actual, quantum entangled transformation that's happening. It makes perfect sense to me why the group situation has such potency, and particularly if you're willing to lean in that way and just allow yourself to be just a little bit, or maybe a whole lot, uncomfortable, and just throw caution to the wind and forge on. And the shifts that I see people have when they do that, throw caution to the wind and just say, I'm just going to share this and I don't care what anybody thinks about it, it's my stuff. When that comes out, I am forever amazed at the, if you do nothing else, if there's no other intention applied to that, just the very act of bringing that up out into the open for others to connect with, the group shift on that is so massive. And it's like watching magic happen right in front of my eyes. Oh my God. I am suspecting that this is similar to that. I'm suspecting that you see those kind of huge, accelerated, transformative shifts in people when they lean in.
Yeah, very much. And, the word emotion means energy in motion. And yes, it's painful and it's scary to talk about those things that we're probably ashamed of or embarrassed about, or don't want people to know about ourselves. But a lot of what I tell my clients is think of the pain that you've experienced carrying that your whole life. If you have that opportunity to lean into that emotion and express it so it diffuses and you don't have to carry that burden anymore, wouldn't that just feel incredible? Right? So it's, I've witnessed in the classes too, people having huge emotional releases about things they totally forgot happened, or even have no idea why they're emotional. It's just that emotion is moving through. And
Yep.
and there's been moments, yes, people think emotional release, okay, I'm going to be angry, I'm going to be sad, I'm going to cry. There have been moments where people break out into just joyous laughter. And then that one person starts that joyous laughter, and then all of a sudden, everybody's in that vibration of laughter and love and connection and happiness. And that shifts the entire space and everything that people have been going through. Um, there's other people who, yeah, they've had huge anger outbursts. They're screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs, and they're saying what they were never able to say at the moment of trauma.
Yeah.
And them expressing that anger actually gives permission to somebody else to go, oh, fuck, I'm angry too.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then start that processing. So we're there as a collective. We're not there to judge. We're not there to snicker and like, oh, did you see what they did? No, it's a beautiful experience that we can share as a collective and begin to shift that consciousness and that awareness for ourselves in the class and for everyone in our lives and outside of that.
I totally agree. 100% on board. And that is entirely why I'm here at this
Yeah.
time on this planet. In a nutshell, that's exactly why. And I think a lot of people are really coming around to that truth themselves, is that they're really it's obvious now that there is an accelerated awakening, if you will. And there's so much context around that, and there's so many interpretations of what that actually means. But for me, it just means coming to 0 point on the inside, coming to
Coming back to self.
of myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And finding out the capacities, that's what we're finding out is our creative capacities, to love each other and to connect and to speak our truth and to dial into the frequency and help this planet and everybody on it to make that transition. And I'm so psyched to have you
Hmm.
here next month, Mike. Honest to God, you and I have been, dancing around now for what, like a handful of months, and
Yeah.
I feel like we're very close to actually being in the same time zone. So,
We
I'm
are
just,
in the
I mean,
same time zone, just not the same province.
true enough, true enough. So is there anything else that you would like to kind of finish this off with? Because I mean, ultimately my goal is to have you back maybe in the fall to come back with the skeletal realignment, because I know that there are people in my community who expressed great interest in learning, particularly practitioners in learning that amazing system. So I'm kind of hoping that you're going to come back in the winter, and maybe do that in town.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal is to I've been doing this work professionally for going on 24 years now. I've accumulated a lot of experience, and it's time for me to share what I've learned to the next generation of practitioners, healer, and people who are just curious and who want to learn other ways to look out for their health and their wellness. So the SAC again is a great course for anybody. So it's a skeletal realignment, but for those of you who are maybe just curious or just dipping your feet into this world of energy and um, spirituality, I hate that term, but we'll throw it out there. The SAC is a great experience. I have one lady who has, I think she's been to 15 SAC classes. Uh, she's now kind of a permanent fixture in the classes, and she will actually be at the class in Nova Scotia there, um, because it had such a profound impact on her own journey, her own healing, and her own life that she can't miss them. And it's also a testament to the power of the course. I'm teaching the SAC here in Sussex, New Brunswick, in 2 weeks, and I think half the class is returning students. Some of them have taken it 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I imagine that every time you take it too, it's completely different, just
Yeah.
because everybody's energies are different and what,
Well, and you're in a different place. You're in a different state of awareness. Uh,
true.
you've processed probably what brought you there the first time. You've probably processed most of that. So we
Yeah.
pulled those layers off. Okay, and what's deeper? What's deeper? The ultimate goal of our human experience is to return to that divine oneness within ourselves. But we have to process through the layers of conditioning and trauma to get back to that place. And
Yeah.
they just keep diving deeper and deeper and understanding themselves on that deeper, more existential level.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
so for me to come to Nova Scotia is an opportunity to meet a whole new different group of people. Um, Let people get to know who I am, what I'm about, and what I have to offer. And I'm always love meeting people who are willing to step into the uncomfortable and to take those challenges head on and to work to better themselves so they can better the world around
Here, here.
them.
I think that's a beautiful way to end that off too. Um, so let me just do a recap. So you, beautiful soul, are here at the Kindred Health. What are they calling it? Kindred Health Collective, and that's in Cole Harbor. A beautiful space, I might add. And you were there October 19 and 20. It's a
Correct.
weekend workshop. All information, juicy details, and registration can be found on your website, EnerQi, EnerQi healing.ca. And in your events section, you will find the Nova Scotia as well as the New Brunswick events as well. And you'll also find registration links on those pages, as well. As you've made it very simple for people to access that information and then register. Um, And I think that's it. I mean, for me and Mike, like seriously, I can't. I hate to bang that nail again, but I can hardly wait to see you and be in your orbit, because I think you and I are going to have lots to talk about. And I know that the good folks here in Nova Scotia are in for a real treat, to just be in your vibe and to be and bear witness to your own wisdom, which is profound and vast. I love the fact that you have vast information and that it's broad spectrum, and you can go so far into the out there with you, but then you can also be very, up close and personal and detailed. You That's the beauty of your energy, and I can hardly wait to be in it. So I look forward
Well,
to being there.
and as we stated, the course is ideal for those of you who are just dipping your toes in, or those of you who may have been in practice for decades. Uh,
Yeah.
it's a life-changing experience, and at the end of the day, all these courses are more about you and your own healing inner journey, because the more we can only take people we work with as far as we've gone on our journey.
Yeah.
So it's vital for us to continue our own inner healing, our own inner work. So we are actually have the capacity to hold a healthy, safe space for the people who are going through whatever it is they're going through. So I'd be honored for any of you to join us and come have an experience and see where it takes us.
Here, here. I second that emotion.
Well,
All
thank you,
right,
Carrie.
lovely. Thank you very much for popping on this morning. And like I said, just to recap, just visit your website or mine. All the details are really on your website, EnerQiHealing.com. That's with a QI.
.ca.
I'm sorry, .ca. And yeah, all the information that you need is right there. And any questions, just reach out to either myself or Mike, and we'll be happy to assist.
Bye, Carrie.
Thanks, Mike. Talk to you soon.